Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, guys. It is our 49ers QB query episode. I had to practice saying that with my daughter. She was like, "What is a query, Daddy?" And then we were talking like we had Donald Duck lips or something. It's weird, but what's going on, faithfuls, man? It's your boy Mike from the 49ers. From the Nothing But Niners crew, and we are back to bring you guys a fun-filled episode, man. It's going to be a quick hitter tonight. It's the three of us here. We're going to break this thing all down, but before we do, let's get down to some nitty-gritty, man. We want to thank everybody for checking us out here. If this is your first time on the YouTube page, we want to thank you for checking us out. If you enjoy the show, make sure you hit that like button, all right? And subscribe as well. More importantly, turn on your notifications. That way you know exactly when we're going live. We do impromptu shows. We do breaking news videos and things like that. And you're going to miss them if you don't have your notifications set, all right? Make sure you guys check out the website, guys. It is www.nothingbutniners.com. It's your one-stop shop for any and everything Nothing But Niners from us here at Nothing But Niners, okay? So make sure you check it out. You're going to get all your news, notes, and nuggets right there in one spot, a little collection of our videos, a collection of our podcasts, and a page dedicated to you faithful out there. If you guys have images that you want to share with us, you got a dope-ass background or a man cave or something like that set up, you're still repping your colors, you're repping your set, even in the off-season, send us those pictures, man. You can send them to us via email, and that is going to be nb9ers@nothingbutniners.com. Boom, right there at the bottom, nb9ers@nothingbutniners.com, okay? Make sure you guys check out the website for some apparel also. That's going to be shop nb9ers at shopnb9ers.com. 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 So if you say it 3 times, it becomes true, right? That's it right there, guys. So make sure you check us out over there. We have Facebook and we have Instagram. That is Nothing But Niners with spaces in between. We also have Twitter and Snapchat, and that is Nothing But the number 9 ERS. Make sure you guys hit us up over there as well. All right, guys. Again, I'm 49ers Mike _NFL. We're going to start by bringing my man Tony here. NJ Niner fan 499. What's up, man?
What up? What's going on? Yeah, I'm locked in my house. The coronavirus thing going on. Scared. Let's talk some football, man.
It's getting spooky out there. I heard if you sip
Hell
some
yeah.
real spirits that it kills all that stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my antivirus stuff over here. You know, this is a glass of Norton. So, all right. Yeah, there you go. And then we got my man Nick here, man. 49er Faithful 365. What's up, big dog?
Bang, bang, not a gang. What's going on?
Yeah, man. I see you over there chilling. Got the sling and everything going on over there. You all right? You good?
Yeah, man. I'm good right now. So today was the day. Finally, hopefully this will be the last and only surgery that I have to have again. And hopefully this one fixes all the issues I've been having going on. But, yeah, I'm ready.
Nick will be out there throwing fastballs before you guys know it. And last but certainly not least, we got my man Breezy in here. 49er Breezy. What's going on, big boy?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing? Nick, I see you doing good, man. Looking good over there, buddy. Got
Thanks, man.
On. Love it. What's good, Tony?
What's up, Bree?
Sorry, man. It's this pandemic thing going around. It's got the world going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now, man.
Yeah. And toilet paper. And toilet paper. We hope everybody out there is being safe, man. Guys, wash your hands. We can't say it enough, man. Get the sanitizer. Do whatever it is you got to do, but stay safe and be mindful of what you guys are doing, okay? So listen, man. We got some stuff to get to tonight, fellas. It's going to be a quick hitter, so let's go ahead and just jump right into it. All right, we're going to start with the latest news from the 49ers camp, and that is DeForest Buckner's salary has somehow changed. It's down about $2 million, and we don't really understand why. What is going on with DeForest Buckner? Let's open it up to the panel and see what you guys think. I've heard a couple of different theories out there. Is it that he was tagged different? Maybe he was defensive end and now he's defensive tackle. Is it that the Niners are working out some kind of long-term deal and they're waiting for the CBA to come through? What do you guys think it is? Let's start with Nick. We'll go to Tony, and then we'll go down to Breezy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I just caught on to this today, like a little while ago. Actually, I saw it. I haven't been on Twitter much, but it looks like they moved him from defensive end player salary to a defensive tackle salary, which is kind of weird because he's always been a defensive tackle and he was getting paid at defensive end money. So I think it's like it's like $2 million savings right now. And the thing that I saw was either A, it's going to be, saying that a tag is coming, a franchise tag is coming, but that would have to be next year, because they can't franchise tag him on an option that they picked up. And then, is this a way to finagle a little bit of money for the year it's obviously, $2 million, which will put us at what, 13 million or 15 million.
Depends on what website you're looking at.
Yeah, nobody really knows what the money line is, but I mean, I would look for them to, I would look for them to sign him long term. But does this hurt the chances of the Niners signing DeForest Buckner? And that's what I'm going to get into later once everybody else gives their opinion. Does this hurt? Does this hurt the Niners in negotiations to bring him back long term? So that's something that we'll see.
All right, Tony, man, what are your thoughts, man? You see that $2 million kind of vanish from his salary.
Yeah.
What's on the horizon for DeForest Buckner?
It's definitely the position switch, like Nick said, but something that just to throw out there, you see a couple players getting paid more because they hit performance incentives, like the undrafted free agents. Maybe this could be a negative decrease because he didn't hit, I guess, maybe his sack totals, what was in his contract. That's just like a long shot, but I think it's the switch from DE to DT. Like Nick said.
Interesting. Now, when DeForest Buckner came out of college, wasn't he playing defensive tackle as well? Wasn't he a defensive tackle at Oregon?
I think they drafted him as a D end. Well, when they announced the pick, it said defensive end. What is he on the roster as?
He's a tackle.
Is he?
Yeah, he's listed as a tackle.
Tackle, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he's been getting paid all that money. Now, when we drafted him, did we make him a defensive end the first couple of years because we really didn't have anything off the outside and then just figured that he couldn't do it and then moved him inside? I mean, the guy got 4 years of defensive end pay.
That's nuts. That is crazy. I didn't know that he was drafted as a defensive end. That's really wild. I felt like he's been inside the entire time here. I don't know. Maybe I'm bugging. His first year
he's played inside. Yeah, I think he's played inside like the majority. Maybe he played more DE his rookie season, but we know him as a defensive tackle. Like that's
did because we were at 34 front when we were drafted.
Exactly.
So that's probably why they switched it, because he has been consistently playing it in the last 3 years.
So I think going forward with the extension, when they offer him his deal, they're going to offer him the deal as a DT. So, I mean, and now that we're in this 4-3, the 4-3 base, he's going to be playing inside, which is what he's been playing for the last 2-3 years. So, that's probably with the adjustment. And I think the saving of a couple of $1 million, I know Nick's going to get into this after you talk, Mike, but I don't think this hurts the chance at signing him a long-term deal. I think that these guys know I think that there's something special, and I know everybody wants to get paid and everybody wants to get their dealings due, like, you know what I'm saying? But Tony said he had a decline year this season. I believe he has 62 tackles and 7.5 sacks. How many sacks he had last year? Like 13?
12 or 13.
Yeah, it's a big decline in drops and sacks, but overall the defense got better. So I just think that I don't think this hurts his chances. I know Nick is going to talk about this like he said, but I think this is a good thing. And that means they're probably looking to try to sign Eric Armstead long-term to play on the end. So, to play on the inside. I don't know, whatever it is, but I think this is definitely from the position switch. I think they're now solidifying. They're labeling DeForest Buckner as a defensive tackle, so his money's going forward will be based on defensive tackle money. Now he got to go out this year and prove he the best damn DT in the game. Shut up, Mike. Why you gotta always like be the negative nanny of the whole group, yo?
I didn't say anything.
You didn't have to. Just doing this. That means
no. I was that was something else. That was something else.
Dang.
Yo, he's trying to say it's something else, but it's definitely not.
We know that, Nick. We absolutely 100% know that. He does not like
Nick. That's because Nick over there changing backgrounds over and over, and I was thinking my head of Nick.
You kept trying to change the NB Niners. I was trying to find one that fit.
Pause. Wait a minute.
That's why I was like, no, I didn't like that. No, I didn't like that one.
But
dang. Every
I
time
thought
I mentioned
Buckner-
DeForest Buckner, he always got the negative no going on. Like no matter what we say about Buckner, we can say
He's
Buckner
not-
about
he's
to
just trying
send.
to play it off.
Yeah, Buckner about to send Mike $1 million.
I love Buckner.
Uh-huh.
I love Buckner. I
Uh-huh.
love him so much. I think that I heard you guys say that when he was drafted, we were 3-4, but I thought that was Armstead's year that we were a 3-4, and then when Buckner came, we were 4-3. I could be way off. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I know that our defensive coordinator was in 2016, which is when Buckner was. That was Jim O'Neill.
Yeah, Jim O'Neill was.
Wasn't that a 4-3? O'Neill was running a 3-4.
We didn't change a 4-3 until
So
Tom Sula.
Yeah, Tom Sula.
Tom Sula took over. Yeah,
he became head coach. That's when we decided we was going to switch it up, and that's where all them dudes started. We thought Tank Carradine was going to have a big year because he was back in his position. He was a bum. Yeah.
All right, so then I guess maybe that's all it was then. But that's kind of crazy that he spent all this time collecting that extra money, and now they're like, hey,
I mean,
whoa.
How much extra was it though? Like $2 million?
No, it's a significant difference a year because defensive tackles get paid a lot less than defensive ends.
Even being a rookie?
Yeah, it's negotiated by your position. So
yeah.
go ahead. I know Nick has some thoughts on it. And we want to get to the meat and potatoes of this episode. So go ahead, Nick.
No, I wanted to ask you guys that question, and Wayne already answered it pretty much. For his feelings. But do you think that the restructuring of this contract, when any team, not even just specifically Buckner, but when you restructure someone's contract, do you think that hurts your chances of getting them to stay long term? And I'm talking, not just Buckner, but like, obviously, Jerick McKinnon came out and said he'd be willing to do it. But when you just do it intentionally to a player without asking them if that is cool with them, do you think that hurts their decision on coming back to the team? Like, is that going to make them upset? Like, okay, this guy doesn't really trust me.
I don't think the team did it. I think the team. Well, I don't think the team made him do the pay cut. I think what happened was the team went to the league because the league set the precedence of the positions and what they make. So, like, defensive end could be $18 million. Just hypothetically, defensive tackles could be $14 million. So I guess they proved statistically that he lined up more inside than he did outside. So the league probably fought that, and that's how they readjusted his 50-year option, which is kind of like a franchise tag in a way. The first year of a franchise tag, but not officially, but at the rate of a franchise tag year one. I don't think it's going to affect it. I don't think it's going to make him mad because I think all these guys bought into the program and are part of the new culture. And I think that's not an issue. They just want to be a part of this. And that's the same thing with Armstead, same thing with Buckner. Emmanuel Sanders, I'm kind of like on the fence now because, you're hearing all these things like how he's denying this. He packed all his shit up and moved back to Denver and said he's out. I'm a free agent. Just because
he shut that shit down in a tweet, Tony. He shut it down.
Yeah, but just hypothetically, he didn't physically speak to the 49ers. It doesn't mean that Parag and his agent couldn't say, all right, listen, this is where we're looking at. You know what I'm saying? But I hope he comes back because I like what he did to this offense once he, started versus Carolina. But I mean, listen, man, money talks and bullshit walks. It's up to him.
I ain't heard that in a minute.
Reminds me of that Lil Kim song.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I'm about to download that. That's my joint.
Oh man, that was right on. That was right on time.
All right. Go ahead, Weezy. I got you.
No, but I'm agreeing with what Tony said, man. It's I just like I said, this the Kyle Shanahan put the statement out like right after the Super Bowl. I want to bring all these guys back. I mean, he legit said it. He don't care. He didn't care. He knew the cameras was on him, and that's what he said. And then as we've been witnessing in the offseason, we've seen guys restructure. We've seen guys like, take cuts and do whatever it is, to try to hopefully bring the 50, at least 50 of the 53 back to this roster that played on this roster last season. So I believe this was a league thing that set him in the lane because they said, hey man, this dude's been playing defensive tackle more than DE, so he's due. He has to get paid at rate. And with that being said, I don't think there isn't anything DeForest could do. I mean, he could get mad, but why would he get mad on this team when he knows he has a chance to win in another championship? And then his fifth year, after this fifth year option is up, man, they're gonna figure out a way to work out a deal, man. You're gonna see a lot of stuff go down. I don't know where the 49ers gonna get the money, but they're gonna figure it out.
I think pretty much everything's at a standstill to see whether this collective bargaining agreement goes through or not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot riding on the CBA.
Yeah, because that helps with our cap. Like it boosts it up a little bit.
It helps with tag numbers. It restructures a lot of stuff, and so it's a big vote. It's going to affect a lot more than what people realize, and so teams are literally not announcing anything. I think a lot of teams have stuff done.
Right.
I think the teams have presented players with if the CBA is approved, this is the deal that we're offering you. If it's not approved, this is the deal we're offering you. And they're just literally waiting. I think, and that's not just the Niners. I think that's league wide. They're all just kind of waiting and in this limbo right now. So we'll have to see what happens. As far as whether or not it's going to hurt Buckner, my overall thought is no, because I think that the team plans on extending him. Whether it tells him he lost $6 million or if he gained 12, the only thing that's going to hurt right now or change right now is what the factual cap number is, and we don't even know what that is. So I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think they look to extend him this season, so it doesn't make a difference. That's what I'm on it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this message is up here from Sean. Sean Shaper says for $5. Thanks for the donation, Sean. Is Buckner upset? I would be a little pissed if my pay was cut. Did you know under 70,000 is low income in San Fran? Look it up. I'm poor, 65,000. Well, that's taxes and stuff like that are high there. But that is the question that we just kind of went over. Is Buckner type of upset thing? Will he come back or will he give the Niners issues? So, but appreciate the donation. Just wanted to give you a shout out, Sean, and thanks for tuning in, man.
Absolutely, man. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and get right to the meat and potatoes. I don't think there's any other 49ers news out there. There is another rumor, not a rumor, but a little conspiracy theory I want to throw out there. Do you guys want to do that before or after we talk about this quarterback position?
Let's talk about that first.
Yeah. All right. So here's my little theory, man. We have a player that I like a lot. Goes by the name of Ronald Blair. Super Blair on certain social media platforms. And he doesn't tweet a whole lot. He put up a tweet about a week ago. I'm gonna read it because I don't want to misquote it. So let me make sure I read this right. He said, and I quote, "One of the worst things you can do with me is take my kindness for weakness. Promise I can show you better than I can tell you." This guy does not tweet a lot. All right. He retweets, he likes, he favorites things. He doesn't physically write a lot of tweets. Maybe I'm looking into it too much because it's a slow time of the year. Do y'all think that it's possible the Niners made him a low-ball contract offer because you're coming off of an injury? You're a rotational guy. We have a bunch of other guys ahead of you. Da-da-da-da-da. Like all these reasons to really, really low-ball Ronald Blair. And then he gets that offer and he sees it from his agent. He's like, "Are you serious? That's what they did to me?" And then he writes that tweet. Because it was just it just literally came out of nowhere. One of the worst things you could do with me is take my kindness for weakness. Promise I can show you better than I can tell you.
Didn't Jennifer Lee Chan tweet something out about him also? And then all of a sudden this came out. So Jennifer Lee Chan posted something about him doing his workouts and something like that. And I can't remember to be exact because, like I said, I haven't really been on Twitter. But I can try to see if I can find it.
In case you haven't seen it yet. Oh, this was 4 hours ago, though. It says, in case you haven't seen it yet, Super Blair posted a video of himself running. Blair tore his ACL in early November, and then she put the Instagram link. But that was something she posted today. That was 4 hours ago.
Yeah, there was something else about him.
This Blair tweet was March 6th. So this was about a week ago.
So you're saying before that, Nick, before he posted that tweet, there was something?
Oh, it was 1 day ago. It just says Ronald Blair, Super Blair is an unrestricted free agent that the 49ers would love to keep on the roster in 2020. The defensive end is making his way back from ACL injury, and that could make a 1-year deal more.
Man, I don't know how I feel about this, yo. To be honest, I'm not trying to read into it. I get where you're coming from with it, Mike. I can see how that might mean, all right, Niners, middle finger to you. I'm about to go out here and show you.
No. Wait, I don't think that he's saying screw the team. I'm saying screw that deal. Do you think it was deal related?
I mean, if he's screwing the deal, he's screwing the team, bro.
No.
Come on, why not? If the team lowballed him, and he feels like the team don't feel like he worth what he thinks he's worth, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much him saying. Why else would you say I promise I could show better than I could tell you? I'm not trying to read deeper into this. I'm just saying if that is what this is based off of, I can see him saying, all right, I'm gonna bet on me. And I'm going to go out here, I'm going to do what I got to do, and I'm going to go ahead and ink my own deal. I mean, that's what the new players are trying to do now anyways. And everybody's going to, pretty soon, the whole damn NFL going to be following the Richard Sherman suit and bet on themselves coming off of an injury and go out there and negotiate their own contract to approve himself type deal, right? That's what's going to happen. But I'm not going to read into this yet. We all want Ronald Blair back. We all knew how much his worth was to our team when he was in the game. But I don't think this is anything we need to like really look deep into, man. I need to see more or hear more. And this is kind of like this went under the radar.
What you just said is why I think he probably would have put in there. If this is contract related, I can show you better than I can tell you. Y'all want to lowball me? Fine, but give me my incentives. Give me my per snap incentive based deal. If I'm getting those quarterback pressures, if I'm getting those sacks, those hits, those hurries, those tackles for loss, I can show you better than I can tell you. I believe I'm worth more. But y'all want to do this? Cool. But make sure you give me my markers, give me my incentives so I can show you better than I can.
You know what, Mike?
Nice pin. Like that.
You know, going towards what Ronald Blair has said, I don't even think that's as bad as what Jimmy Ward was saying. Like, I think there's more to read into with what Jimmy Ward was saying than what there is about Ronald Blair saying it. And that's when Jimmy Ward was saying, you know, if I'm not back in San Francisco, y'all are going to spend all this money on such and such player, you know, coming out of college or whatever it may be. And it should just be Tarvarius Moore's time if I don't return to San Francisco. So, like, I take more like that.
You didn't like that from Jimmy?
No, I'm saying I take more from that than I do the Ronald Blair situation.
I thought that was pretty dope for him to say that. I like that a lot.
He endorsed Moore, which is dope. But there's some guys coming out in college that are better than Moore. That's in my opinion.
Oh,
but it's about the system.
It's about the system. Yeah, but Moore ain't learned the system yet neither. So,
but he was saying in that message that he wrote, he was talking about how if y'all don't bring me back and you get the free agent that everybody is talking about, he can't be used the way that I was used in this system.
I get that. I get that. But when he took it to the college realm, when he was like, y'all ain't gonna be no college player that's gonna be able to come in here and do what I do, he's correct. But there might be a college player that's smart enough to come in here and does better what Moore does.
I'm just saying, like, in the general perspective, like, did the Niners make him a contract offer that he's just not happy about?
I didn't know they were able to make contract offers before. I didn't know that. I thought they had to wait till tomorrow to make any type of offers.
No, they can make offers. It just nothing can be finalized until the new league year starts. Which is
they could extend him right now if they want.
He's still theirs. He's not
because it's not a free agent. So if he's going to a different team, it won't kick in until the 14th or the new league year.
Yeah, tomorrow. So tomorrow, because he's technically a free agent. If he doesn't have a deal with us.
Correct.
Okay. So tomorrow he comes off the books. All the free agents in the world come off the books, unless they've been cut.
Well, and it also depends on the CBA, because I don't think we're going to see like free agency go crazy until the CBA is finished.
Got you.
So I was just saying in that little portion, that bothers me more. Like that I would have more, I don't want to say bother. That would give me more concern than what Blair said. Like him saying, like, oh, well, you can't replace me in the system. These guys aren't going to play the system the way that I played. that to me is like a shot at the team compared to what Ronald Blair is saying, where Ronald Blair is just saying, hey, I can do this and I can show you type thing. He wasn't saying like, you're going to be lost without me or things like that. So with the Ronald Blair stuff though, man, I just think just these players are just finally learning, how can I say this, to stick up for themselves. You know what I mean? And saying what they feel. And that's all over the NFL. Jimmy Ward, you've heard, Ronald Blair now. I'm just talking about Niners. You heard Emmanuel Sanders like come out and say, oh, well, they haven't offered me anything, blah, blah, blah. Haven't had no talks with them. So I'm sure he knows what his agents are talking about, but did they make an offer for him and they didn't like it? So it's all kind of up in the air for us right now. We don't really know what the hell's being said behind closed doors or what is being said. So to me, it's just we got to kind of wait for the CBA to get figured out and, go from there because we can't. It's been so hard for me to even dig into draft prospects this year because we barely have any draft. Free agency comes first. What are we going to get in free agency? We don't have a whole lot of money. So that's where, like, I haven't even really dug into anything yet because of those facts. We were just talking about this today, Mike. We were like, this year is not as fun as the last 6 years because, A, we don't have a ton of cap space, and, B, we don't have a ton of draft picks. So this year, to me, offseason is more boring than the last 6 years have been because, we weren't winning. We had a high draft pick, and we had a ton of cap space. So we may get one free agent this year, if that. And that may be somebody coming back that is a free agent.
Yeah. Now, we'll have to see what happens, but now it's time to get to the meat and potatoes of tonight's episode, guys. All right. The title of this one is 49ers QB Query. We have some questions, apparently the media does anyway, about the quarterback of the future and present for the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to post this up here right now is Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers QB of the present and future. Now, according to John Lynch, according to Kyle Shanahan, they both addressed this during the draft talks and all that stuff when they were asked, and they said, yeah, Jimmy's our guy, Jimmy's our guy, Jimmy's our guy. The media seemed to not care at all, and they went on for about 2 weeks about Tom Brady to the 49ers. The 49ers should trade Jimmy Garoppolo back to New England. The 49ers should sign Tom Brady. It would be much better, right? That went on and on and on and on. And then it didn't really die down, but the next thing you know, it was boom. The 49ers are probably just waiting for Kirk Cousins to become available because he'll be a free agent next year. And then Kirk Cousins can come in here and he can be the 49ers quarterback because that's really who Kyle Shanahan wanted. He was crying and upset when they made the deal for Jimmy Garoppolo because he really wanted to get Kirk Cousins. And then the next thing you know on NFL Network, it's headlines. Would you rather have Dak Prescott or Jimmy Garoppolo? And it's just on and on and on. It's Jimmy Garoppolo versus another quarterback, on and on and on. And Eric Crocker went out on a tweet in a little rant. He was saying, I don't understand why this is happening because Jimmy Garoppolo is not a free agent quarterback. Why is it he's constantly being compared to other quarterbacks that are free agent? The Tom Brady thing, the Dak Prescott thing, where's this all coming from? Why do they keep messing with Jimmy Garoppolo? And so that's his question. I'm going to pose that to you guys now. Is Jimmy Garoppolo the quarterback of the present and the future? Should the 49ers move for Tom Brady? All right, that's a question that we're looking for here. Should the 49ers move or wait for Kirk Cousins? Like, what should we do? And then the last one here is also, should the 49ers trade Jimmy and draft a quarterback? So, fellas, we're going to talk about all of this. Let's break it down. Let's start with Breezy, then we'll go to Tony, then we'll go to Nick.
How
are you guys feeling?
We're answering these questions one at a time, right?
However you want, man. I mean, there's a bunch of options. Apparently, would you rather have Dak Prescott? Let's talk about it, man.
All right, I'm just going to address the first question because that's the one I remember and that's the one I see on the board. Is Jimmy Garoppolo the 49ers QB of the present and future? Listen, guys. Our coach, our general manager, and the majority of the daggone 49ers, I think all of the 49er faithful, we believe that Jimmy Garoppolo is our guy. We've watched him grow in a system this year when he had his first year as a starting quarterback, full season, and all he did was progress. You can chalk up what he did at the last quarter, last few minutes of the Super Bowl. You can down him for whatever, but he got us there. I just want everybody to remember that. and this is really addressing the media outlets because they're the ones that keep coming up with the bullshit narratives, excuse my French, pardon my French, about Jimmy Garoppolo. Like they're comparing him to apples and oranges and all that good stuff. So here's what I'm going to address to the media public. If you guys want to keep doing this, it's only because you need a story. Your network ratings are losing, you're losing ratings, and you got to keep somebody hot. Now, who was it that it was Crocker, because I remember writing something. Crocker posted something about Jimmy Garoppolo, and I said, well, you know what that means when your name stays in their mouth. Right? And I didn't mean nothing bad or sexual about that. I simply meant that when somebody keep talking about you, that means you hot and somebody like you that dude, you that guy, you got the energy. Everybody's looking at you. People want to be you. They want to be like you. Everything. Like everybody, I guarantee you every team in the NFL, all the other 31 teams, if they needed a quarterback, I guarantee you they'll find a way to get Jimmy Garoppolo. Why? Because he's proven he can learn a complicated offense, run it fluently. Does he make bad throws? Name one quarterback that doesn't. Does he throw interceptions? Name one quarterback that doesn't. I'm really stuck on that. The Tom Brady thing, that's all narrative. That's all Brady coming home and retiring and walking off to the sunset like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The Dak Prescott, get that shit the fuck out of here. Now I'm going to start cussing. Like, that has nothing to do with 49ers. I don't want a cowboy in the 49ers uniform ever again. What was the last question? Because I could be done with this shit. All right, look,
Are we trading them for draft picks?
No! Why would we trade Jimmy Garoppolo and bring in a rookie-ass quarterback that's going to be dumb as shit? The offense is complicated. We finally got a quarterback that showed he could run this offense. Can you imagine what the next season is going to be like when the plays get more intricate and fine-tuned? Come on, man. Wake up, guys. What the beep? I need a beep button. That's what I need. I'm done. I need to go get some water. Go put on the hat.
Freezy has spoke his piece, man. He says Jimmy Garoppolo was the guy. Now, Tony, man, I got to present it to you a little different because I don't want you just answering the exact same questions. Are you telling me that if Tom Brady was our quarterback in the Super Bowl, we wouldn't have won that game? Like, what's up, man? Tom Brady isn't the guy to lead us to the promised land? Are we about wins or are we about future and
this is what it comes down to. I think just because Jimmy could not win that game, this is why this is all got stirred up. Okay. And another key factor in this, I'm going to tell you a guy's name. His name is Don Yee. Don Yee is the agent for both Jimmy Garoppolo and Tom Brady. So clearly, I honestly think, in my opinion, there's a game being played here to build interest and money for Tom Brady to try to get his value raised on the market other than the Patriots. I mean, Tom Brady's Tom Brady. Would I mortgage my future and my team that's ready to win now to put him in there for 2 years and then you're going to sit back and say, okay, what happens if we win this year and then he retires? What are we left with? We have Nick Mullins. We have CJ Beathard.
Not unless we extend them, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's nothing really there. So honestly, and I'm going to keep it real with everybody, if they pull this off and it does not work, Jed York has to get rid of this whole administration. To mortgage, you invest in a second-round pick, paying this guy top dollar. He was the second or third highest paid quarterback before everyone started getting their extensions.
Right, at the time of his contract,
Correct.
Yes.
So you're paying him big bucks, okay? You invested a second rounder, and now you're just going to be like, you know what? It's okay. He went blow for blow with Drew Brees, and they won in the Saints. He had 3rd and 16 passes thrown in between tight windows and won us games. They're just going to take that and throw it out for Tom Brady. And if they do that and the Tom Brady experiment fails, I think you've got to get rid of everybody. And I'm a big Kyle Shanahan guy, but you cannot make a bold move and get a guy to turn around and say, you know what, Tom Brady's 42, we'll bring him in. He probably would have won that game, and do that move and it blows up in your face.
So then what about the Kirk Cousins or maybe drafting a replacement for Jimmy, trading him and getting a draft replacement?
I mean, listen, anything could happen. It's up to them. But, I mean, personally, I would not mess it up, and I'm going to tell you a reason why, okay? You have players. First of all, this locker room is like this. It's very tight-knit. You have players, as soon as this bullshit came out, they're tweeting pictures of Jimmy and the player. We got this. We're going to make a run again. We're going to do this. Now, you're going to send a message, okay, saying, okay, I don't care if you guys like Jimmy and love Jimmy, but we want to bring Tom Brady in. That's going to take this locker room and separate it. Because let's keep it real. Tom Brady's not the most great person to be around if things don't go right. He's, in my opinion, I could see him, yelling and pointing fingers and screaming and yelling on the field if it doesn't go the way he wants it.
That's leadership when Tom Brady does it, not temper tantrums when he does it. That's leadership.
No, I understand that, but you're going from a tight-knit group to them being able to talk to each other than him rashing out on the sideline. Like, listen, Jimmy screwed up a couple times. You don't see people yelling at Jimmy. Or Kendrick Bourne, ball through his hands, pick, guy turned it back for a touchdown, whatever. Get him in field goal range to win the game for Seattle. You didn't see Jimmy go up to Kendrick Bourne yelling and screaming at him, putting his finger in his face. There's two ways you could look at that.
I think it's different times though, Tony. Like Tom Brady, they old school, man. They grew up in that type of era where you made a mistake, you had to let the other person know. Because no one was worse than Peyton Manning. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like he cuts his whole freaking line out. I ain't never seen that before. But I think they're old school. Like you said, you don't want to mess up the youth movement they got going where they be like, oh man, it's okay, man. Shake it off, man. We're gonna catch the next one. Like where Tom Brady be like, how you missed that? It went right through. Like, I get what you're saying, but I just think Brady is an old school generated type quarterback, and he on his way out. I like everything new.
And that's what I'm trying to say. You don't know how this locker room would take that because it's never had that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and the one most important thing you got to realize is he's got to learn a whole new system.
Yeah.
Unless Kyle says, you know what, I'm going to cater to what he could do, which all good coaches should do. But now everybody else has to learn that system.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically a rebuild no matter how you look at it, even if he is a veteran. It's someone's changing something drastic. You don't know if Tom Brady can be successful without that system, so you're likely to put him back in that system, but now everybody around him on the offense is learning something different. So it's a step backwards at some point. It's another learning curve introduced. So I get it. Now, my final question to you is, because we got it from Breezy, of all the options there, Tom Brady, Kirk Cousins, or draft prospect versus Jimmy Garoppolo, which do you prefer? Tony.
If you're saying if I'm going to make this move, which route would I want to go?
Do you want to make a move? Your options are Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh no, Jimmy. I would stay with Jimmy right now. I would.
Okay. Okay. There you go.
Because there's a lot of time, money, and equity, like picks invested in him. Shanahan's father worked with him all last season before, while he was healing from his ACL. There's too much that is entailed to this to just say, oh, you know what? See you later.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
All right. And Nick, man, they've already broke it down a lot, but I'm going to ask you this too, right? So we saw Peyton Manning go from the Colts, have a little injury, a little setback. They release him. He goes right away to the Broncos, right? And they're Super Bowl bound, right? But the Broncos did something a little different. Peyton Manning is a guy that has done things his way. They called him the sheriff for a reason. It's my way or the highway, right? It's my town, I'm the sheriff, da-da-da-da. Tom Brady is like that also. It is going to be like what Tony just said, Tom Brady's system. So you're going to have Kyle Shanahan trying to mimic what Brady has been doing over there with McDaniel and all that stuff all those years under Belichick and that kind of system, okay? Kyle Shanahan is a very headstrong offensive mind in the NFL. He's looked at as one of the brightest, most innovative coaches on the offensive side of the ball. Then you have a quarterback who has just been doing it so well and so much winning. Do you think that would even work here? And then you can go ahead and answer all the other questions.
No, just plain and simple, no. I mean, you talk about Peyton Manning going to Denver. Denver went to that Super Bowl because their defense that year. Their defense was nasty. Now, obviously, you bring in a Peyton Manning. He can control the clock. He's a game managing type quarterback at that age when he went to the Super Bowl. In my opinion, the defense is what that team was all about those 2 years. Secondly, you hear it all the time. Is Tom Brady a system quarterback, right? Every quarterback is a system quarterback, right? You can take a quarterback out of one system and put him in another and he flourishes. Or you can take a quarterback out of a system And look at Alex Smith here. I'll use Alex Smith as an example. Alex Smith never threw downfield, hardly, as a Niner. Everybody said he was a game managing quarterback, wouldn't throw the deep ball, all this other stuff. He goes to Kansas City with a Andy Reid who loves to throw the football downfield, starts throwing the football downfield, and everybody says, where was that at when he was a 49er? So you can take one quarterback and put him into another system, he can flourish. You can take a quarterback out of a system that he flourishes in, put him in another system, and he flukes. You've seen it all through New England. I think Matt Castle is the only one that had, a success.
No, I get what you're saying, but he
like,
was bad too.
Only one that really had like a real successful season after leaving New England as a quarterback, right? You can take Jameis Winston for example, right? If he went to a different team, what would he be like, right? Like he's horrible in Tampa, but it could be the way that that's just the way they are. But the bottom line is, you never know until you do the switch, right? Jimmy Garoppolo went to a Super Bowl his first full season, and he hasn't even tapped into the potential that he can have. A, getting to know this system better. B, we saw Matt Ryan had his career year, his second year under Kyle Shanahan. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, Jimmy Garoppolo played 6 games with a limited playbook. He won. Came out. He was 2-1. Or, I'm sorry, 1-2 when he got hurt with a comeback. Was on a verge of coming back in Kansas City when he got hurt. Then he sits out the full year. Hits the playbook. Hits things. You could see a big difference in a lot of things that Jimmy Garoppolo did this year. And he's 27 now? Yes, he's getting up there age-wise. But, I mean, he's not 40 years old, right? So you have a ton of room for improvement. And it wasn't even just Jimmy Garoppolo who lost that Super Bowl. It was execution all the way through. Offensively, defensively, coaching. There were a ton of things that went wrong in that Super Bowl, right? So the media I heard Nate Burleson say something about if that's Tom Brady in there and he makes that throw to Emmanuel Sanders, we're talking a whole different story here. And he was saying this to Kyle Juszczyk. Right when Kyle Juszczyk was on there. Oh, if Emmanuel Sanders catches that football and Jimmy puts it on him, then, this is a whole different – and then Kyle says we could be Super Bowl champions and Jimmy would be MVP. And we wouldn't be having these discussions, right? So now while it wasn't just that one overthrow or it was a couple other mistakes that the entire offense made, play calling, whatever you want to call it, penalties, just things like that. To me – you're in the perfect position right now. You have a guy who's already paid. He's already under contract. Your offense knows your offense. You can always add to your offense and him learn more. He has a ton of room for growth. And if you get him pieces around him, he's going to be that much better. The young guys, Deebo Samuel, even if Kendrick Bourne stays here, right? Just younger guys growing up throughout the system, learning. There's no reason you go to a Kirk Cousins who still hasn't done shit, right?
And he got guys. He got
right, and he has guys, right?
Guys. Like, come on, man. Nick, hurry this shit up.
And he does have guys. So, and then you go to a Tom Brady where the guy's 42 years old. Like, why would you want to bring somebody in here and start your whole team and locker room all over again? You heard how these guys, like Tony and Wayne were saying, it'll screw up the locker room. You heard Emmanuel Sanders Super Bowl week. I don't know why everybody's riding Jimmy. Jimmy's a worker. Jimmy works hard. You've heard this all year long from players sticking up about Jimmy Garoppolo. So if you take Jimmy Garoppolo out of the equation, you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. And like Tony said, you might as well get rid of everybody and start fresh, completely all over again. Coaches, players, ownership, whatever. You better start something new.
We can't take that again. We can't do that.
Yeah. And a lot of people aren't even mentioning that this was Jimmy's comeback season off of an injury.
Yeah.
Off of an ACL. Be specific with the injury, bro.
Over 4,000 yards. He had a better touchdown to interception ratio. And you could see his growth towards the end of the year. Like he just started getting better and better and better. He's going to come in another system or another training camp, have a full year, stay healthy. He's going to learn more.
He's gonna
be doing those things.
Oh God, the brain's gonna be smarter.
Get more freedoms at the line of scrimmage. It's
exactly.
Gonna be
the team we have as right now can definitely win a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
So why break that up?
It's not us though. I mean, I know some of us are saying this, but they're being force-fed everything from TV and the news and the radio and podcasts and everything. So I get it. Like, it's being pumped into their head. And godly, I can't wait till Tom Brady goes to the freaking Tampa Bay Buccaneers and they can shut all this shit down. Like
that. The Tennessee Titans.
He's going to the Bucs.
Or
the Titans. The Titans are all in on their quarterback now because they know they're not going to get Tom Brady.
I think he ends up in San Diego.
They're all in on Tannehill.
So, and that's another big reason why this receiving core and just talking about that is this receiving core got a lot better with Emmanuel Sanders on his team. That's why it's a big key free agent for me to bring back.
If we argue against that, then I'm getting off the air because I'm tired of arguing with fans on Twitter about Emmanuel Sanders and how the receiving core instantly improved when he got here. I don't understand how they don't see that. I don't get it. I don't know what kind of football they were watching. I personally think even though the receivers are going to be older and this system, I without Sanders, I think we struggle if we don't find a key replacement for that. That's just my personal opinion. We can say that for another show, but I know Debo's going to get better. But what happens when they start double teaming Debo? I'll wait.
Well, they got to do something. They can't stay stagnant. We can't just sit idly by and watch the world move. We can't just wait for guys. We got to go out and get some guys. I think that's going to be the biggest goal here. I do want to address a couple of comments that I saw up here where people were making contributions. Sean again said, by the way, we all think that we should stick with Jimmy and ride this thing out. So that's where we are. I don't want Kirk Cousins. Not to say that Jimmy is the perfect quarterback, not to say that he can't improve. There's definitely areas to improve. I think we all agree on that. But you got to give him a chance to do it.
Every player in the NFL can improve on their gameplay. Every NFL player.
But you got to give them the opportunity. So many people want perfection right away, and you can't do it. As much as people like Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, they're not perfect players. Everybody can improve. So wait until you see the improvements from Jimmy. Then we're going to realize how silly of a conversation this was. And maybe he's limited somewhere. Maybe he is, but we won't know until he's got his feet set and he's confident in the system. And then we'll see where his limitations lie. Sean here says, do you guys think Jimmy is looking at his injury history and positioning himself for one good payday before riding off in the sunset? He later posted that this question was in reference to Jimmy Ward, not Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
So what are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you think that his message was about positioning and all?
Well, Jimmy Ward hasn't gotten paid yet, right? So
no.
People wherever he goes, they're going to look into his injury history. Like, it's going to get pulled up. This is your injury history, and this is your production. And he's had his best season, healthy wise and production wise, with the 49ers. He didn't have any interceptions though, did he? No interceptions, but definitely a lot of pass breakups. And he played the safety position exactly well. Plus, you got to remember they utilize. I think Jimmy Ward is a wild card piece because he can play cornerback position as well as the safety. So wherever he goes, like I said, I hope we bring everybody back. But wherever Jimmy Ward goes, he's going to make someone hopefully good. But Jimmy Ward could just be a perfect piece in this system and go somewhere else and suck.
We've seen the reverse happen, man. We've seen guys
come out of the 49ers systems and go elsewhere and ride off into the sunset.
A lot of the safeties that left the 49ers during our hardball years. What happened to Sean Goldson? What happened to Don Whitner? You know what I mean? A lot of the corners and all that, those guys kind of vanish. You know, a system makes things better, man. Andy Smith had his comment here. Thank you for the contribution, Andy. It says, "And Jimmy, we trust. Brady or others is wasted cash."
Facts.
I'm with him, man, because another thing that people aren't considering, even if there are some people who think Kirk Cousins might be better. They think that he might be better, right? But here's the thing. The contract Jimmy has now, if you wait and get Kirk Cousins, it's going to cost more than what Jimmy is at now. So it's just and significantly more. So because with the cap rising the way it is, you're gonna look nuts with that contract if you were to pay Cousins to stay here. So
I'm not gonna knock our players, right? But can you imagine if Jimmy G had Thielen and a Diggs and with our running backs? God dang. And our tight ends, it would be, he would have so many options to where if Jimmy messed up, then yeah, we can start talking trash about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because those are crazy options. I think Jimmy's the guy, guys. We just got to give him some time, and he's just gonna keep improving over time. He's not at a ceiling. He has plenty of room to grow. You got to remember, Jimmy probably has the most complicated playbook in the NFL right now. Most complicated. That junk changes every week. I mean, I know they all do, but as far as complications and stuff, as far as sets and formations and all that stuff, it changes every week. And Mike and these guys said next season we're going to start seeing Jimmy call plays at the line of scrimmage. He's going to start changing in audible. That's when you're going to see the growth of a quarterback. That's when you're going to see Jimmy G. We're going to see that Eastern Illinois grad mindset come into play. I can't wait, man. I'm happy. I just can't wait. Got a tinkle in my throat. I hope that's not
Corona. Oh, he got that Corona. He got that Corona.
I'm gonna go get a Corona. How about that?
We wrapping this thing up, man. I got to get back to work, fellas. I've been sitting here. Don't tell my manager I've been on the clock for a while, so I got to get going. But any final thoughts, man? I see Nikki put a comment up there. Is there something you wanted to touch on that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I don't understand why people hold this against Jimmy Ward. Like, if you look at his injury history and then you look at his play, yeah, he has 2 career interceptions, but you also have to look how many more times was the ball thrown deep, like against this defense, especially this year. So plays. I don't know why people still hold that against Jimmy Ward. Like people just weren't throwing deep on us. Like he didn't need to cover downfield like that. And the plays that he did make, he only allowed one or 2 crazy touchdowns this year. That one where it was like a broken play and he couldn't get there in time. And another one where he just got his ankles broke. But I don't know, man. I was one of the biggest haters on Jimmy Ward, and I think that he's a very, very key piece to this defensive side of the football.
Oh, yeah, man.
I like it. I like it, man. Everybody's coming around on stuff, man. People starting to realize some talent on that Niners team, man. So I like it, man. I'm not going to sit here and belabor in the moment, guys. Any final thoughts from anybody? We're going to wrap it up. Tony, you've been quiet over there for a minute. You start with the final thoughts.
I'm just listening, and everyone's making valid points. I mean, they're knocking Jimmy Ward, but we had the top-ranked pass defense in the league for the majority of the year. So I don't know how bad he could be, but listen, when you talk about defense, that's all the front needs the back, the back needs the middle. So they're all working in together. So I don't know about that. And as far as the Tom Brady thing, it needs to be put to rest because it's really annoying now because it's all you see and hear and the Kirk Cousins bullshit.
Yeah, we let it go for a while and let everybody let it die down, and then we want to touch on it. This is going to be the last time we're addressing that. I promise you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, man.
I'm excited real quick because the new league starts tomorrow. I know the CBA ain't fully signed and fully agreed on or whatever, but we've been seeing a lot of cuts and a lot of guys people want back in the 49ers, like Delaney Walker. They want to do a homecoming. I think Frank Gore wants to come back and retire. There's a lot of stuff that wants to go down, so I can't wait to see what happens in the offseason, even though we only got $2 to spend.
All right.
If somebody wants to come over here and open my water bottle for me because I can't get it.
That's a long-ass drive, dog.
Bro, I can't get this shit off. I'm like,
you just got to get 3 or 4 water bottles and you fill them up all at the same time.
The whole thing is like I can't feel my hand at all. Like it's just.
Did you try to stick up your middle finger?
No, like just touching my fingers. But that neuroblock, dude, I feel like I have no arm. Like I can't even move my fingers like this. So Mike, that's what I'm gonna probably do is probably use my feet, like wrap my feet around a bottle and try to turn it. So, but yeah, it's crazy. once again. I don't have any final thoughts, man.
No,
good
nothing.
show.
Okay.
I want to do a show on that whole Delaney Walker thing and, bringing ex-49er players back and things like that because, I don't know. We'll see.
I bring him back for $2.
We can do a nostalgia show. I don't mind that. That'll be pretty cool. People have a lot of feelings. People talking about, oh, I heard that Alvin Smith is coming back to. Oh God, we can do it.
1 year prove it deal. 1 year.
Man.
One mess up time. That's what I meant. Not that.
Like I said, the only probably one I would probably bring back out of those is probably a Delaney Walker, only because of the fact that he can block and run passes, and I think him and Kittle to the outside is crazy. But you got to also understand that whatchamacallit's getting older too, Delaney.
We'll break it all down on the next show, man. You guys make sure
what?
Make sure you guys are tuned in and locked in, man. Make sure you guys are subscribed and everything. All right, guys. We will bring you guys more shows. We promise you guys that. Where let me get this thing up here. Hold on a second, man. Bear with me for a second, guys. My apologies, man. I forgot to scroll up and click the thing. All right, there it is right there. Make sure you guys are locked in and loaded. You hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for checking us out here this evening. My final thoughts are this, man. Stop panicking, faithfuls. You want to panic about something? Panic about the lack of toilet paper in the country, okay? That's some shit to panic about. Get it? That's some shit. Toilet paper. All right, I'm getting out of here, man. Y'all ain't ready for this. We're going to get up out of here. Hit that like and subscribe button. Give us a follow on our various social media platforms there. The names are all at the bottom of the screen there. And if you forget any of them, guys, go to the website. That's also at the bottom of the screen. I'm ready to get out of here, ready to get back to work, and I'm ready to come home and go to sleep. Prepare for glory.
One thing before you do that. Make sure you guys stop by shopnb9ers.com and check out the Hot Girls of the Empire shirts for your wives, girlfriends, or whatever, kids, whatever. They're up for sale there now. Shopnb9ers.com. Go over there, place your order. I think we had like 15 orders so far, so last I heard. But keep it up. Go over there, shopnb9ers.com. Check it out. Also, the NB9ers official apparel.
Yes,
check
sir.
it all out over there. So
Get your shirts.
I ain't wearing a Hot Girls of the Empire shirt, but I got some NB9er shirts. But yeah, so they take EBT. I don't know what they take, bro. It's their website.
We don't take EBT.
So
But you can go to the EBT machine, get the cash out, deposit it into your bank account, and then we take that.
hey, Wayne has spoken. But now go ahead, Mike. Send us off. I'm good.
Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
Be out of here. Peace.